How you guys doing today? Welcome back to Empower People Today. Today we will be talking about taking full accountability and ultra accountability in your life, and how taking ultra accountability in your life and being accountable to all things that happen in regards to you can change your life. So let's dive into it. First, I'm going to talk about some of the key components, and then I'm going to talk about how these key components help me in my life. The first key component I would like to talk about is having a clear understanding of what's expected. In terms of that, just what's the task at hand? What are you expecting to do? What's your goal, and what's your passion? What you want to do in life, and why you want to be disciplined, and why you want to take full accountability for it. Also, if you don't have a good idea of what's expected, your performance might suffer because you don't know necessarily what you're getting into and what you necessarily want out of the situation. Another key component about taking full accountability and being ultra accountable towards yourself is just planning the unexpected. A lot of people have trouble doing that, like planning the unexpected, expecting the worst, but also expecting the best. Understanding that any situation can happen at any time. Understanding you could be on your way to a workout but get in a car accident, but at the end of the day, if you take ultra accountability, you should have been probably earlier to your workout, or you should have, you know what I'm saying? And don't put it in the person's hand that hit you. Instead of putting it in your own hands and, planning for the unexpected and realizing that, any situation could happen. So just trying to maneuver and making sure that everything you do is to the maximum potential and maximize every opportunity you have. So just make sure, worst come worst, I could die. Hypothetically speaking, best comes best, I can have this video and put it out to you guys. Just plan the unexpected, and make sure that you're just not, going through life without thinking of opportunities or thinking of the good and the bad, because you just never know what's gonna happen. Another great component of being self-accountable is, having consequences for yourself. A lot of people say they want to be disciplined and they want to be the most accountable they can be towards themselves, but at the end of the day, have no consequences when they don't. It's all about being a man of your word. You could say and speak all this gibberish and all this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, and if you don't, what's the consequence for it? A lot of us have trouble giving ourselves consequences or disciplining ourselves because of our own actions. A lot of us, we'll say we're gonna do this and do that, and then not be a man of our word. So it's just about make sure you have consequences for yourself, because then you're holding yourself to an even higher standard, because if I don't do this, this is the consequence for it. And if we have good consequences for ourselves, then we won't fall into those bad habits or bad traits, and we will continue to grow and continue to be self-aware and hold ourselves to a high standard. Another great component to being self-accountable is a detailed follow-up plan. Now, if you have a great detailed follow-up plan and you know exactly what you're gonna do, if hypothetically the worst situation comes, and you have a great understanding of, okay, the best situation, I'll be here. Worst situation, I won't, but what's the follow-up plan for that? Do you have somebody backup that will be able to bring you somewhere if your car breaks down? Do you have, did you communicate that with the person that you're supposed to be meeting? Just have a great follow-up plan. Every great person in life has a great follow-up plan. Just knowing, understanding, this doesn't work out, I'm gonna get through. I'm gonna get it doing this. You know what I'm saying? Everyone says what's your backup plan? Backup plan and follow-up plan is a little bit different. Backup plan is okay, well, if I don't make it here, I'm just gonna go do this. No, follow-up plan is, okay, if I don't make it here, I'm gonna go do this and this to get there. You know what I'm saying? You're still on your path to get into that same place, but you just have a follow-up plan and a way to maneuver around it, worst case worst. So just have a good follow-up plan and always have that enact, because you just never know what's going to happen. If you have a good follow-up plan, in the best situations, you might never need it, but in the worst situations, you'll be oh shit, well, I got this and I can go do that. So just have a great follow-up plan, man, and that's a good way to hold yourself accountable, because then you're not relying on anyone else, or if you are, that person knows, or you know what I'm saying, you already communicated with that person and you're already 10 steps ahead. Another component to being ultra accountable towards yourself and holding yourself to a greater accountability is, understanding that your path or your direction in terms of like where you're going or what you're doing could be corrected. So just always being aware and always knowing that, the things that you're going to do or doing or that you're holding yourself accountable can change. And that doesn't mean you're not being accountable. That means that you're aware of that and you're correcting that. So just always be ready to correct the things that are going on, whether you're doing everything the right way. Just be 100% aware of that, because correction is great. Things happen in life where you might have to alter it a little bit, but just being aware of that and being able to correct that is another great tool of being accountable, because then you're not waiting on someone else to tell you like, hey, like that might not be that direction. So just being able to correct the things that need to be corrected, and that's also a great form of being accountable of your own life. Another concept which is my favorite concept, is be consistent. And I think accountability is the biggest thing is consistency. If you're accountable of your life and you know everything that's gonna happen, and you hold that accountability of your life, and you hold it of of yourself, just being consistent is the main thing. Being consistent to who you truly are, being consistent of your ideas and how you want to move and how you want to be as a person and as a human and as a professional in your careers, whatever careers you're doing. Just being consistent. Consistency is the biggest thing, I think, for accountability. There's a lot of things in life that trickle into being accountable of your own life, but at the end of the day, consistency is a great one. Consistency is the biggest thing in life in general. It's like me when I say to my following and the people that support me in my videos, it's like, if I'm not consistent putting out content and creating content, then I'm not taking ultra accountability towards the things I said I was going to do. So that's why being consistent when you're holding yourself to ultra accountability is so big, because at the end of the day, to be accountable, you have to be consistent in what you're doing. And that's just with anything in life. You just got to be consistent. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I talk about with my people and my support team is just, let's just be consistent in everything we do. Whether it's with basketball, whether it's with, investing or reading or whatever it might be, just be consistent in what we want to do in life. Because at the end of the day, if you're consistent, you're holding yourself to, higher standards, and you're being very accountable, and you're holding yourself to ultra accountability. So another concept I want to talk about is being involved. Whether you're being accountable towards your job or you're being accountable towards, your business partner, just being involved. And this kind of goes when you're trying to be accountable towards other people, and you want to hold yourself to a higher accountability towards other people. You know what I'm saying? Where you're showing them that I'm a accountable person and I'm gonna do as I say. So like in terms of having a business partner, or me like training in basketball, it's like being involved, understanding what's your trainer's schedule, just in case 2 days down the road you need to change your session, or understanding like I have a job here, I have a job, I have my hours just at the third. When's my boss's hours? Because I might have to switch. Like, you just never know. So just being involved in everyone, so you can hold yourself to a high standard of accountability, so you're able to maneuver around that just in case something pops up. So just being involved, understanding that shit happens and things happen. So if you're involved in the outside world, it helps you be accountable, because then you can maneuver around it. So just be involved, man. That's a great one. Our next one is assume nothing. And when I say assume nothing, it kind of goes with plan the unexpected. Like, assume nothing. Assume that no one's gonna be there for you. Assume that no one's gonna be able to help you. And everyone in life will. Like, most people are good, so most people will help you if you need it. And you can rely on a lot of people that care about you and that are there for you. But assume nothing. Assume that you have nobody. Assume that you have to do everything on your own. Because if you do that, then you're holding yourself to the only accountability, and you're only accounting for yourself. And if you do that, you won't rely on anybody. And that's what accountability is about, is because at the end of the day, you can always go back and be like, well, and usually in every situation, be like, well, yeah, in a way, that was my fault. And that's what it is. And that's what we talk about when we say being ultra accountable. Like, regardless if it isn't quote unquote your fault, you could somehow make it your fault, because everything is like that. I mean, if you're showed up late to a workout, or if you did anything, like, it's like I was talking to my buddy the other day, and it was like, he was like, yeah, like, I'm in a situation right now, I can't get to the workout, this, that, the third, but he was supposed to be at the workout the day before. I said, okay, well, just hold yourself accountable and think about it like this. Well, if we were at the workout the day before, we could have talked about it, or we could have put something in plan where you could have been at the workout today. So instead of missing one workout, you were there for you missed two. You know what I mean? So it's like, just, it might have not been his fault that he missed the second one, because we knew the situation. But if he didn't miss the first one, he would have been there, or we would have knew for the second one, or we would have made something happen for him to be there for the second one. So it's just like, it always can end up being your fault, even if it's quote unquote not. Yeah, so just plan for the unknown and don't assume anything. The last concept I want to talk about is just recognizing your performance. We all understand that, life is hard. And if you recognize your performance, you recognize that you're doing good and you are holding yourself to a higher standard and you are being accountable of your own actions and of your own life, recognize that and give yourself a pat on the ass, a pat on the shoulder, whatever you want to call it, and keep going. If we don't recognize that stuff and we don't see the good that we're doing, we won't continue to do it. We'll just beat ourselves up about, the next thing. So just recognizing your performance, recognizing that you're growing as an individual, recognizing that you're trying to be better, regardless if you have lapses. Regardless if, one day you're like, oh, I messed up, this, that, the third, and all of a sudden you're not accountable for your own actions anymore. No. Things happen. You're human. We're all human. But just trying to be ultra accountable is how you put yourself in the best position to, be independent and create your own success and not rely on anybody else. So for me, it's just like, don't beat yourself up about it. Embrace the good that you're doing, and realize that your performance is growing, and realize that you're growing as an individual. So those are some of the concepts I wanted to talk about. I'm glad that I was able to communicate those with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll be posting a video once a week. Just continue to stay tuned. If you guys want to talk about anything, any concepts you guys have, or any ideas or topics that you guys want to talk about, I'm more than welcome to talk about it. If you guys would like to be on, just message me, DM me. We can have you on, and we can talk about it together here. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay healthy. God bless, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.